Thank you.
Once again, we dedicate this ceremony in both honor and in memory of people, in honor of those people that have fought the cancer and have won, or those that are still fighting it right now, and in memory of those loved ones that we have lost. Tonight's ceremony, in honor, we're dedicating this to Mr. Marco Bonato. Do we have John here? No.
That's my dad.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John Carangelo, and I'm part of a huge crew out there called Team Marco. And we're here for a little boy who, as we speak right now, is undergoing chemo treatment. And we love this little guy. And as many of you know, we're all very helpless when friends and family suffer such a terrible ordeal, and we don't know how to handle it or how to express our love. My wife, Catherine Carangelo, is out there. I can't see any of you, by the way. It's just pitch black. But in our hearts, we wanted to do something. One thing led to another. We all decided to get together and form a team to express our love for this little boy who's fighting a fight. His mom and dad wrote a little something, and I know it's a little lengthy, but I'd ask it if it's okay to share it with you. But it's called One Little Man's Fight Against Retinoblastoma. During Marco's second birthday party, his aunt and uncle, who both happen to be optometrists, were looking at his pictures and noticed something peculiar. One of his eyes cast back a white reflection instead of a normal red eye. They immediately called for an examination by a retinal specialist, and our worst fears were realized. Marco was in the advanced stages of retinoblastoma, a deadly fast-growing cancer of the eye. In fact, the vision in his right eye was already lost. For many victims around the world, this type of cancer can be fatal. But fortunately for Marco, he lived within driving distance to the world's foremost authority on retinoblastoma, Dr. Abramson of Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York City. Over the next 2 years, Marco underwent 6 intra-arterial chemotherapy surgeries and 21 radiation treatments. He had regular exams 3 weeks during this period, going under anesthesia each time, as well as a slew of other treatments and tests. After 2 years of treatment, it seems as though the cancer had been eradicated. But as we approached the 3-year mark, at age 5, Marco started suffering very painful bouts of glaucoma. Once it became clear that the pain would not be managed by the usual medications, we made the heartbreaking decision to have his eye removed. While the surgery brought relief for Marco, unfortunately did not turn out to be the end of this story as we had hoped. Over the 2009 holiday break, approximately 6 months after the surgery, an MRI revealed a tumor growing in his right tibia. We spent the next 2 weeks traveling into New York City for a comprehensive series of tests, including 2 bone biopsies. The test revealed that this was indeed the same cancer that was in his eye, and Marco immediately began the first of 5 cycles of chemotherapy treatment. The first cycle was completed in Sloan Kettering in late January. As I write this on May 4th, Marco has finished his 4th round of chemotherapy and is doing well. He underwent a stem cell retrieval process in March, and he's been hospitalized for about a week after each of the treatments as precaution to stem off possible infections. But he's fighting like a trooper, and his spirits remain high. Marco will be heading back to Sloan Kettering on May 10th for his 5th and final round of chemotherapy, a very aggressive treatment in which he will be hospitalized for 4 to 6 weeks and will undergo a stem cell transplant as part of the recovery process. His prognosis is considered favorable, but as with any serious cancer, there is always a risk of reoccurrence, and we may not really know the outcome for years. Once he recovers from his treatments, Marco may need additional radiation treatments, and he still has some additional surgery ahead of him to help his improve movement of his prosthetic eye, a result of some nerve damage inflicted during his surgery. But we are hopeful that in the end, Marco can rejoin his classmates who happen to be at Mary L. Tracy, and there's a lot of them out there today, in school next fall. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of Marco, and we love you, Marco. I know you're videotaping me right now. We're praying for you. Be strong, and as these t-shirts say, may the force be with you, because he's an avid Star Wars fan. So Love you.
Our second honoree for tonight's event is Andrea Schifrin.
Of the bagpiper who will be playing for us. Thank you.